Okay, let's talk about computer cases. Again, it's February 6th, and I want to make sure that we talk about the most showy part of a computer. The computer cases we buy here at Mountain Computers, back in 2006, we started with Raid Max. They were all sorts of colors: green, blue, yellow, red, and black. So we had more or less the M&Ms of all the different computer cases. And so we went through 2 generations of the Raid Max computer case, and those came from Newegg. There's, at the same time, the Rosewill series was starting to come out. We started to see those. The other part of those computer cases that we like so much is that those were standard ATX computer cases, about 20 inches tall. And so you could, fit your normal components in there. The motherboards at the time were coming down in size. Instead of 10 by 13 dimensions, they coming down 10 by 10. So there was room for a power supply, your motherboard, plenty of room to assemble things, and plenty of front 5 1/4 drive space. So you could have 1 or 2 optical drives, or even then we had some older cases that we'd put a 5 1/4 and a 3.5 inch floppy disk drive in. We don't do that anymore. In fact, optical drives we sort of weaned out in the past couple of years, ever since like 2017, 2018. Everything's downloadable through the internet. Back to computer cases, then we ended up having some shuttles. Shuttle computers came around in like 2008, 2009. And so we had some really cool Gorilla shuttle cases that I really liked. And then after the Raid Max series, the Shuttle series, and all those colors, we didn't get into neon very much. But the one cases that we did like the most were the Raid Max series. We've gone through 3 generations of those. But for the civil engineering computers, the computer cases that we're using now are NZXTs. A black and a blue series. Not really the red series, nor the white series. The ones we just got recently, the green series, that's a return to the MyGo Green PC tune-up, that software that we've been using. Took us 9 years in beta testing to come out with, but in 2009 I started the software. In 2018 I finally released it to the public. You can download that from our website at mountaincomputers.org or gogreenpc.com. The computer cases that we use now, I'll show you a link in the comments what we use. We buy 2 at a time. We build out usually 4 at a time. But that's it for computer cases. And the price of computer cases are around $50. The shipping and handling usually is free. Back in the day, 5-6 years ago, it would be about $15, which was a little high. You had to pass along that cost. The state of Nevada wants you to consider that in freight, which is technically true, but we just incorporated it into the cost because it's non-taxable. The cases, when you sell it, it's taxable, but the in freight can be a little high. What else? I think that's about it. What else on computer cases? Oh yeah, the computer cases. There's full ATX, which is a really tall case. That's like at 13, 14 inches. Then there's the ATX, which is at, that's to support the motherboard size I meant. 20, anything over 20 inches probably won't fit inside a desk enclosure. But the ITX boards, those take those little shuttles, and we have had 3 or 4 versions of the shuttle. I didn't mention that earlier, but I wanted to because several doctors' offices, some home users, the older people, elderly, they like the smaller computer cases because they're easier to carry if they need to move things around. That's important. That's why we like the shuttles. You can pack a lot in them, but they also get a little bit warm if you're trying to put in like a quad-core processor. Can't really get away with the a heat sink only. You need to put a fan on it. They do get a little warm. What else? Can't think of anything else on computer cases. Oh, on the front. Yes, on the front. Computer cases will have USB ports on the front. Make sure when you order a computer case, if the motherboard has a USB 3 connector that goes to the front of the computer case for USB 3, make sure those match up. That's important to note. Some of the computer cases have neon fans built in, which I like. The new green ones that I'll show you the link to, those are really cool. Make sure you get extra cases or extra CPU LEDs, because once they're obsolete and go out of warranty or go out of stock, it's going to be hard to replace them with the same type. We're in the desert in Nevada, so dust is common. But if you can keep them in a clean space, they'll last pretty much forever. Most computer cases we want to last about 10 years. I have seen computer cases come in that look like they've gone through 10 years and they're only like 2 years old, but that's because of dirt, not keeping them clean, not once a year opening them up and blowing them out or taking them outside. I've seen people use vacuum cleaners. That's okay. I would prefer you bring it by once every 18 months like some people do, and we just blow it out with, we used to have canned air that we got at Costco, and we were going through so much canned air in a given month, we ended up going and using a compressor, and a compressor has higher pressure and you have to be careful with it. Some of my staff would be a little bit more brutal with the air compressor. But you can pinpoint cleaning out a case with an air compressor in the right place, in the right way. Take it outside, blow it out, hold your breath, make sure you're upstream of all the dust coming out. You don't have a problem later on. And that's about it. But so that's it for motherboard. Not motherboard, computer cases. It's been a day. So anyhow, check back a little bit later. We're gonna go, so the 8 things: computer case, power supply, motherboard, processor, cooling, RAM, hard drive, and operating system. So many things to come that are good. So sit tight and stay tuned.